guys getting shoved to the ground.
By whom?
First Kuwaiti managers. And just generally being pushed around, shoved to the ground, yelled at, screamed at, that kind of stuff.
Did you report those incidents to the First Kuwaiti or to the OBO?
No.
Did you ever witness any First Kuwaiti officials carrying firearms or weapons on the compound site?
Yes, sir.
And are you aware that according to the contract that First Kuwaiti had with the State Department, you needed permission to carry a weapon on the site?
Yes, sir.
Did either of you, witness First Kuwaiti officials, managers, or foremen verbally abusing third-party national workers? I think
Yes,
you
sir.
indicated you had, Mr. Owens. Mr. Mayberry, did you?
I didn't hear the question.
You witness any verbal abuse by foremen of the nationals?
Yes, sir.
The country nationals. And to the best of your knowledge, did any third country nationals, how did they take that abuse and what reactions resulted?
What I had seen, they would cower down to them.
Mr.
They would
Owens?
stop talking, anything that they had to say. They would literally cower down to the management team.
Mr. Owens, what was your experience?
Yes, that's correct. They would back down.
And Mr. Owens, are you aware of any instance where a laborer was held or detained against his or her will?
Yes, sir.
What would happen if a laborer wanted to leave the work site?
They wouldn't be, the triple canopy guards would stop them. They wouldn't be allowed unless they could sneak over the wall.
And did you witness any observation, any opportunity with that occurred?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it, please?
One night, 17 Filipino workers went over the wall to find another job in the green zone.
And how were you aware of that?
They told me.
And did you see what happened as a result of their attempt to go over the wall?
Well, when they went over the wall, First Kuwaiti sent somebody out to look for them, and they brought them back. And I guess they told the ones that got a job with another company, the company was told they would get sued if they kept that worker. That First Kuwaiti had paid to bring them to Iraq, so they were supposed to work for First Kuwaiti.
Were you aware, Mr. Owens, of any worker safety protection programs or training that was in place at the work sites?
None whatsoever.
And how did that compare to other workplace safety programs or embassy construction projects on which you've worked in the past?
The whole time I was on the site, I never saw one safety meeting, not one. But on all of the other embassy jobs that I worked on, there was a safety meeting every week.
Did you ever report the lack of safety meetings or incidents on that to any other official?
Yeah, I spoke with Mary French, the project director.
And what reaction did you get from her?
It was a conversation. I noticed that there was a lot of guys on the job that weren't wearing hard hats, and they were wearing turbans, where they just take cloth and wrap it around their head. And I asked her, I said, how can they get away with that? And Mary told me that the hats were against their religion. They couldn't wear a hat. They had to wear the turban. So I said, well, that really won't do much good if a piece of rebar falls on them. And she told me that they believe in inshallah, which means God willing, if they're going to get hurt or not going to get hurt.
Did workers have access to safety equipment, hard hats, protective eyewear, appropriate footwear? Was there access to those things?
Yeah, I believe they pretty much did, but we were running out a lot. A lot of guys it would be ordered.
Did you observe any injuries in the workplace?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Just seen guys falling through stacked rebar before concrete pours, guys falling through it. There was a pretty bad accident where a guy fell off a building because he wasn't roped off properly, but he was on the ground by the time I got there.
Mr. Owens, were you ever contacted by the State Department Inspector General Howard Krongard regarding the allegations that you've made of abusive labor practices by First Kuwaiti?
No.
Were you ever contacted by Deputy Inspector General William Todd?
No.
Were you ever contacted by anyone who identified him or herself as a staff member of the State Department Inspector General?
No.
Mr. Mayberry, were you ever contacted by the State Department Inspector General Howard Krongard regarding allegations that you've made about abusive labor practices by First Kuwaiti?
No, sir.
By Deputy Inspector General William Todd?
No, sir.
By anyone identifying him or herself as a staff member of the State Department Inspector General?
No, sir.
Have either of you been questioned by the Department of Justice with respect to their investigations?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Owens, if you also.
The Justice Department, yes.
I notice that my time has expired, and Mr. Davis, you recognize for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much. I want to thank both of you or your testimony. Let me just ask you for the record, did you